Have you ever walked into a situation feeling completely unprepared? Talk about the ultimate stress. And did you know that buying a home is one of the top most stressful events in someone's life? Today, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 mistakes that buyers tend to make that can easily be avoided, helping you feel more prepared, informed, and confident as you move forward in your buying process. My name is Donna Iannacchino, and I'm a realtor here in the beautiful Bluffton, Hilton Head area. Number 1 mistake is not consulting with a lender early enough. So I'm thinking people might be a little gun shy, feeling we're not quite ready to buy yet. We don't want to initiate a conversation because we're not quite there. Or perhaps they don't know the value that a good lender will add to your strategy. A lender is not only there to get you pre-approved or pre-qualified for a loan on a home, but they're there to help you strategize. And they can do so by a couple of ways. They can help you improve your credit for a better rate, understand how much home you can afford, set a savings goal for your down payment, navigate loan options that fit your situation the best. Even if you're selling a home back in your home state and you're going to use the proceeds, reaching out to a lender will also help you strategize on how to make this possible and what options may be available even if you didn't think that you would be taking out a mortgage. Reach out early so you can get the information you need up front before you start on your search. You'll know exactly what your buying power is or what you're working toward, whether now or in the future. When you're working with a good realtor, they will have referrals and resources for you. So don't be shy about using the ones that your realtor will pass along to you. There's no ulterior motive to that except that we just know that they can do and have done a good job. And that's what we want for you too. Mistake number 2, not getting pre-approved before you start looking at homes. In order to go see the inside of a home, you really need to know whether or not it's in your budget. For a couple of reasons. You will know the actual budget and the parameters in which you can do your home search. Wouldn't it be terrible to find a home that you love and find that it's not in a range? Maybe your buying power is actually better, which will get you into a better community, into a better home. But you won't know those things unless you actually talk to a good qualified lender. Not only that, when you go in and find a home that you absolutely love, you will be prepared to make an offer on that home because you've already been pre-approved. It's really about getting you in the best competitive advantage on getting the home you want as well. Because if you fall in love with a home, chances are there's somebody else that's falling in love with that home as well. And if you have 2 offers that come through, one person is already pre-qualified or pre-approved and the other one is not, guess which one the seller is more likely to accept. So before you start looking at homes, get pre-approved because otherwise we're just window shopping. Number 3, the biggest mistake that buyers can make is not planning for appropriate closing costs. And this is where lenders come in as well, as they will advise you as to how much closing costs can range. Now, they can't give you an exact figure. They're going to give you a range because there's so many variables. You'll get those figures as you get closer to closing. Obviously, I'm not a lender. I can't give quotes. However, if you ask a lender, they'll most likely say that closing costs as a buyer can range anywhere from 2% to 5 or 6%. So in addition to your down payment, you want to be prepared to have additional readily available funds for the closing costs, such as loan origination fees, title insurance, homeowners insurance, property taxes and prepaid interest, appraisal and inspection fees. So when you're preparing a budget, make sure you're planning for the closing costs so you're not scrambling at the last minute. Now, some may ask, well, can the seller cover the buyer's closing costs? Well, you can always ask for anything, but they can always say no. So you'll still need to be prepared to cover the closing costs if you decide to move forward on a home. Mistake number 4, not doing your own due diligence about the home and the area that you're looking to buy it. Sometimes buyers get so focused on the home itself, and it may check a lot of boxes, but does the area surrounding. As a buyer, it's your responsibility to research a community's CC&Rs, which are the covenants, conditions, and the restrictions. For example, does the HOA allow you to do what you want to do? Future development plans. You may buy a wooded lot, but what is behind it? What could future development plans be like in that area? School districts, commute times, and zoning changes. Homeowners insurance costs. Is that being factored in and researched? Is the home in a flood zone? Crime rates. what does a neighborhood safety history look like? There are certain things that I cannot advise you on. And two of those things are schools as well as crime rate. And the reason is both of those things can be subjective and can be considered steering if I was to give you opinions on either of them. And that actually violates fair housing laws. I send a list to all my buyers with a whole slew of things for people to consider. Some things may or may not be important to them, but they are going to be resources, a checklist, ways to research. And the more that you know, the more information you have will reduce the amount of risk as well as the amount of stress. A lot of times people fear what they don't know, and you really don't know what you don't know, if you know what I mean. So that having been said, I give you the information so you can do your research and feel prepared and confident in your decision. Number 5, another mistake that buyers can make is not doing an inspection. Now, it is good practice to do an inspection whether or not you have a resale or a new construction home. A home inspection is a detailed evaluation of a property's condition covering areas like roof, foundation, and structure, plumbing and electrical systems, HVAC systems, and appliances. The inspection isn't a pass or fail test, and it isn't a price negotiation tool. Focus on big ticket issues, things that are expensive to fix. If the inspection finds major issues, you have 3 options. You can ask the seller to fix it, you can negotiate a credit, or you can walk away if it's within your contingency period. With only a few key exceptions in the contract, sellers are not obligated to fix anything. So just be prepared that if the answer is no, you have to make a choice as to whether or not you want to still move forward. And that brings us to a key point. Sometimes people have thought they can use the inspection process as a negotiating tool to get the price down even further. Think of it this way. When you go in to make an offer on a home, you are making an offer, and based on what you can see or have the ability to see in the house. Whether or not you notice that is a whole other thing. So just make sure that before you place an offer on a home that you are comfortable paying that price. It is not a good strategy to go in with an offer price assuming that you're going to be able to get the price down on the house at inspection. That is something that can certainly backfire. I said 5 mistakes, but actually I'm going to throw in a bonus one for you. It is taking advice from people that are not real estate professionals in the local market. Just like with any big event in someone's life, a lot of well-intentioned people come out of the woodworks to give advice. Some of it solicited, some of it may be unsolicited. Just be aware there are different laws, rules, regulations, compliance factors, and then there are different market variables. And the local markets can be very different from that of anywhere else in the area. I actually had a few examples of this happening to clients, and it really confuses them. You know, they were consulting with a friend who was a realtor in a different adjoining state and was getting information that was setting them down a path of incorrect expectations for our local market. And it really just created a lot of confusion and unnecessary stress. Or you may have somebody that had a particular situation, or maybe they hadn't purchased for many years and they're remembering the market of yesteryear. So just be aware that they're good intentions. Some information is good, some information is bad. So do yourself a favor. Please filter it all through your single point of contact, which is your trusted realtor, to help you make sense of it and to help keep you on the right path. If you watch this video all the way through, I'm assuming you're probably considering buying a home. And if you're considering buying in the Bluffton area and want to be prepared when you come visit, watch this video next about getting around Bluffton and what you will find here on the local roads.